Well, not very many actresses can say they began their career in the arms of Charlton Heston or worked alongside Academy Award winner Susan Hayward, but Kathy Garver, beautiful Kathy Garver, is probably best known to all of us as the beloved Cissy on Family Affair, the iconic TV series, and we are so delighted to have you here, Kathy.
Well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here, especially on Victory TV, because I think it does such a service and some kind of network that we need today. When I look at all the different things, and back when Family Affair was on in 1966 to 71, those were its original years, and here it's going to have its 50th anniversary in 26. I don't know how that can be since I'm only 39 myself, so this was obviously...
You look 39.
Oh, well, thank you, my dear. So some of the shows that I see on TV today, I say, well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
You know, it serves as not such a hot model
Yep.
for some of the young people or some of the older people
right.
that are watching TV.
I totally agree with you, and that is why we love Victory Television Network. You know, family shows are hard to come by these days. It's a new kind of family, and so we love your shows and so many others, and so we're delighted to have you here. And we hope there'll be more of those, and we hope you'll be a part of those shows. We are going to talk about your career. You are multi-talented, not only as an actress, but as a producer, as a very well-known voiceover talent, and and an author. An author. This woman is. Her gifts are unbounded. So let's first of all just dive into your books. You have already done a cookbook.
Right,
it was the cookbook.
Family Affair Cookbook, and to do shameless self-promotion, it's on Amazon.com or on my website, Kathy Garver, KathyGarver.com, and in it there is a chapter for each one of the characters.
Oh, great!
So there's Mr. French's gourmet meals and easy recipes for kids and those who don't know how to cook. Cissy Sizzles,
Perfect.
and every time a recipe was mentioned on Family Affair, there is a recipe to go along with it.
I love that. What a beautiful idea, and what a great way, again, for families to gather around the kitchen and the dining table to share a meal together. So I love that.
Yes.
And that's already out, but you have a brand new book that's coming out in September, right?
That's right. It is Surviving Cissy, My Family Affair of Life in Hollywood. That will be out September 1st, 2015. Again, available on Amazon.com. It will be in Barnes & Nobles, in all of those, my publicist says, your favorite retail stores, as well as on my website, which, again, is KathyGarver.com.
Great. Now, you hold one side of this. I want to open this up and let our viewers see you've got not only the story in here, but you've got incredible photos. And this is really a pictorial as well as just text. So it's going to be a wonderful thing to have and reminisce about your life growing up in Hollywood and your years since. And, you know, there are so many child stars, Kathy, that have gone AWOL. It's a very difficult environment for a young kid, and you seem to have survived that very well. How did you do it? Was it a strong family background, you think?
Well, thank you for saying so. And actually, my third book, this segues beautifully.
Perfect!
is Ex-Child Stars, Where Are They Now?, which will be out in 2016. And in the book, we go from the 50s, 60s to 70s and chronicle how did some go astray, how some became very successful. We have Allison Balson at the Western Film Fair, and she was on Little House on the Prairie. She went to Princeton, she went to Trinity University, and, you know, so some child stars, it doesn't necessarily have to be the stigma or some awful thing I was an ex-child star. And
it can be a great blessing.
absolutely.
Yes.
And those that succeed find that to be a blessing. They don't shun it. I do a summation at the end, and I think four of the main things are the parents don't use the child as their own personal bank. The child gets an education, so there is something beyond just film acting, TV acting, or whatever they became famous for. Even some of our sports figures, our kid sports figures, where do they go from now if they break a leg
Yes.
or what happens to them. So that's my third book.
I think it's very important, and especially in this culture where kids are, parents really shove them into careers at an early age, whether it's sports, as you say, or acting or whatever, and there can be a huge amount of privilege that they're heaped upon, and so I think you'll do a great service both for parents and for the kids who aspire.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and as you say, it's not only, for those film and TV stars, but so many of the kids out there it's more accessible for them to participate in the sports. But that isn't like the be end, and end all. That is very important to show them there's a different world.
That's so great. And you mentioned that we are here at Western Film Fair, and it's an amazing convention that takes place every year, Western Film Fair and Nostalgia Convention. And what brought you to Western Film Fair this year?
Well, my good friend, Dr. Fred Eichelman, who is doing such a service to our entertainment field, and puts out a newsletter for Point North Tidings, which is great because it expands the entertainment for faith-based and inspirational films and TV. And as a matter of fact, and I think you said earlier, we want to do more inspirational kinds of entertainment. There was one article about a new movie that's going to be made called Heaven with a Gun. So I read this little article and I thought, this is being produced by Brenda and Rocky Whitehead. I said, I know them. Those are friends of mine. So I emailed them and I said, I'd like to be in that movie. Can Brenda write me a juicy part? And he said, well, yeah. So we're going to do that movie, a faith-based movie, in 2016, along with a new faith-based television series, which is also a Western. This is my year and next year for Westerns, I think. It's called The Big Sky. So,
that's wonderful.
Yes.
And where will you shoot Big Sky, do you know?
California and Nevada so far. Those are the locales.
That's wonderful. So you just stay as busy as ever.
I am, and I have, as old as I am, I know I'm 39, I have a 24-year-old son who lives at the house that also takes a lot of nurturing and caretaking, as well as my husband. So we make wonderful meals. He's a fabulous cook. We make meals out of the Family Affair cookbook.
Good. Okay, what's your husband's favorite meal out of the cookbook?
He likes to do, well, he doesn't cook.
Oh.
It's my son who cooks.
Oh, your son
My
is the
husband
cook.
just eats it.
Joyfully, I'm sure.
Yes, and his task is to take the dishes to the dishwasher.
Oh, that's good.
And my son is in love, so his girlfriend is over almost every night for dinner.
Oh my
so,
gosh, how perfect.
Yeah, her job is to take the dishes out of the dishwasher.
Oh, okay, gosh,
so it's
you've
a
got it
team
all
effort.
parceled out here. Everybody, it's a family affair.
It is indeed.
I love that. Okay, well, not only are you a talented actress and a producer, tell us about the producing you've been doing lately.
Well, besides producing audiobooks, and I've done like over 60 audiobooks, I just did one by Max Lucado.
Oh, love Max.
Yes, and this was a bedtime prayers, and he compiled a lot of biblical quotes and phrases and that you can read to your child before they go to sleep.
Beautiful.
And so that inculcates them with a faith, and they feel better about, someone's watching over them,
That's right.
and it gives them something to mull. So that it was really a wonderful book.
Wow, and did you narrate that as well, or was it his voice?
No, he wrote it,
Okay.
he and his wife, and I did the narration of it. I did the
Beautiful.
audiobook
Beautiful.
portion of it. I'm working on a couple other projects, Sold, which is a movie, and it's a trilogy that we have established along with the TV show, and it has Joel, I can't think of his last name, Joel Zwick, who did My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh,
So
my
there's
goodness.
lots of wonderful Hollywood
Wow,
credentials
great.
behind it. But again, it's family oriented, and it's
So
a really
great.
wonderful movie.
Wow, and people probably have heard your voice but don't know that it's Kathy Garver in multitudes of cartoons. And you've done anime, Japanese anime, you've voiced all kinds of characters that we probably are hearing on Saturday mornings and on the Cartoon Channel all day long. Our kids are listening to your voice in different characters.
Yes, I did Firestar on Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. Firestar and Angelica Jones, as well as Dixie on Dixie's Diner, and that was really a fun one to do.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I also teach speech and how to create characters in San Francisco.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
So how did you transition from being in front of camera to doing all this wonderful voice work?
Well, it's so much easier to do voice work. You can be whatever character you want, and it doesn't depend so much on what you look like. You know, Firestar is this very voluptuous, fabulous, wonderful character with firebolts coming out of her fingers. Well, I can't do that in real life. And for the anime, there was this character called Enya, who is a very awful hag type of character. So, I mean, one can't really do that if you have a baby face.
Look like her.
So you can do all these fabulous characters and
Wonderful.
create them.
Oh my gosh, how wonderful. Great fun, huh? You also did one of my favorites. I have 2 little grandbaby girls, and the Beatrix Potter
Yes.
stories are their favorites. And you produced not only the audio books, but you also did the lyrics and the music, and it's music.
Yes, I love music, and these Beatrix Potter tapes, and we did also Mother Goose for Kids. You know, they're classic, and so they're just evergreen, and each generation, we have a whole new audience for these wonderful classic tales. And we have something in common because we both did, well, you did a lot more episodes, but the series Matlock, which I just loved.
I did too, and I'm so sorry we didn't get to work together on that show.
Right. Well, it's okay. I didn't even work with Andy Griffith on that show.
How can you do a Matlock and not have a scene with Andy?
You're a reporter, and you cover the scene and go into the murder situation.
That's right.
How,
Well, we loved having you, even though we
Thank
didn't
you.
all get to work together. But
Right.
yeah, it's pretty iconic to work with Andy as well, to do
Yes.
that show.
But I love music, and just in January, I did a new musical in Tennessee called The River Song,
Oh, I love The River
Adventures
Song.
of Tom Sawyer.
Yes, I love that show.
So it was brand new. My friend, Jerry Malloy, I had worked with him. He had adapted Summer Magic, which was a Disney movie. The lyrics were all done by the Academy Award-winning brothers, the Sherman Brothers. He adapted that movie onto the stage, and the Sherman Brothers were kind enough to give them the rights. So we did that first, and now we've done the Tom Sawyer from the movie. Again, Sherman Brothers music. I played Aunt Polly. I sure did like playing Aunt Polly, I tell you that. And we're going to next do it in Hannibal, Missouri, because that's where Mark
fantastic.
Twain's from.
Oh, wow, you will be embraced there. That will be
Yeah.
so wonderful.
Yeah, we hope so.
Oh, so what's new on the horizon? What's next? You are such a busy lady. You got the new book coming out in September.
Right.
Surviving Hollywood. Then what's next? The new book you're working on for 2016 will be out.
Right, that's right.
You've got 2 new movies in the works.
Right.
Producing more things. Anything we haven't talked about?
Well, I'll be in Kanab, Utah.
Ah.
I don't know when this is showing, but in August I'll be in Kanab at the Western Legends Roundup because I sure do like those westerns.
Well, we love having you here at the Western Film Fair, and we look forward to the future having you more and more as you're doing more and more westerns with Big Sky coming out soon. And what was the other one? Heaven with a Gun?
Heaven with a Gun.
Well, great. Kathy,
Yes.
you are an inspiration to me and everyone, and we are delighted to have you here. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Nancy.
Take care.